Picture a dealership service department somewhere in Middle America. 50 bays, hydraulic lifts, diagnostic computers on every wall, snap-on toolboxes worth more than a used truck. The whole place was built to service 200 vehicles a week. Now picture 48 of those bays empty. The lift's cold. The toolboxes belong to men who left months ago. 2 mechanics left in the whole building, and both of them are quietly looking at job listings during lunch. That's the worst case. It's already real at some dealers in Texas, Ohio, and Arizona, and it's the direction every shop in America is heading. In a few years, when your truck breaks down, the answer to, "Can you fix it?" is going to be the same everywhere you call. Sure, we can get you in, about 6 months from now. They already made your new truck impossible to fix in your own driveway. Sealed modules, encrypted software, parts that won't activate until somebody at the dealership types in a password. You knew about that part, but there's a second half to that trap nobody talks about. It doesn't matter how locked your truck is, if there's still a skilled mechanic to take it to, the lock only works if the lockpicker disappears, and that's exactly what they've engineered. Here is how a mechanic actually gets paid in a modern dealership. Not for the hours he works, for the hours a manufacturer-published book says the job should take. A brake job pays 2 hours, a water pump pays 3. It does not matter if it takes him 20 minutes or 20 hours. The book number is what he gets paid. In the old days, this could work. A sharp tech finished a 2-hour brake job in 1 hour. He got paid double. The system rewarded skill. Then the manufacturers caught on. They cut the book times. A job that paid 3 hours in 1995 now pays 1.5. Same job, same truck, just less money. And the hard jobs, the diagnostic nightmares, the rusted bolts, those pay almost nothing. A mechanic walks in at 7 in the morning, works hard until 5, does an honest 8 hours of labor, and the book says he gets paid for 3. Would you show up tomorrow if your boss only paid you for 37% of the hours you actually worked? Because that is exactly what the dealership network is asking the most skilled tradesmen in America to do every single week for years on end. Walk into any dealership service desk and ask the labor rate. North of $200 an hour. In big metros like Los Angeles, $300. The mechanic turning the wrench sees about 40 of those dollars. It used to be 1/3 to the tech, 1/3 for the shop, 1/3 to the owner. That was the deal for 50 years. Now the man doing the actual work gets a quarter, if that. Then comes warranty work. And here's where I need to be fair. This part isn't the dealership's choice. When your truck is under warranty, the manufacturer reimburses the labor, but corporate sets a labor time that's 30 to 40% below retail. Ford, GM, Stellantis, they all do it. The dealer's hands are tied by the corporate labor guide. The service manager can't override it. So the tech ends up paid less for the exact same job. The fight isn't between the mechanic and the dealership, it's between the shop floor and corporate headquarters in Detroit or Dearborn. And corporate always wins. So put yourself in his boots. You're a craftsman, 42 years old, real skill, and then you do the math. Your buddy did a plumbing apprenticeship 3 years ago. He just bought a house. The HVAC guy down the street is making $110,000 a year. Your wife's brother is a union electrician. And here is the part nobody outside the trade understands. Plumbers and electricians show up to the job site with a company van. The heavy tools are provided. An automotive technician is expected to spend $50,000 to $100,000 of his own money on Snap-on and Matco tools just to be allowed to do his job. He is making payments on his toolbox the same way other men make payments on a truck. Call it the tool tax. It is the secret weight nobody talks about, and it is what finally breaks them. So the good ones walk. They become diesel mechanics for fleet companies that pay hourly. They open one-man shops out of pole barns, charge $60 an hour, and keep all of it. They go to the trades where the tools come with the job. If this is hitting where you live, hit subscribe. Every week we expose another piece of the trap they have built around the American driver. We will keep telling you the truth, they will not. And the next generation? Ask any mechanic what he tells a young man who says he wants to go to auto tech school. The answer, almost every time, is 2 words: run away. The men who love the trade are warning the kids away from it. Community colleges that used to graduate 200 auto techs a year are graduating 30. Here is where it lands on you. The good techs aren't coming back. Not for a signing bonus, not for a raise, not for anything. They are done. So the wait stretches. First, a couple of days, then a week, then 2 weeks. Now in plenty of markets, it is 6 to 8 weeks for a routine repair. It is 3 or 4 months for a transmission rebuild. Your truck breaks down on a Tuesday, and the earliest anyone competent can even look at it is October. That is the end game of locking the machine and starving the man who fixes it. Which brings us to the only move left. Own a truck simple enough that you are the mechanic. A pre-computer truck, a square-body Chevy, a first-generation 12-valve Cummins Dodge, a 1996 Ford F-250 with the 4.9 inline 6. Trucks with 12 bolts on the valve cover and a service interval you can do in your driveway with a wrench and a cold drink. Now I have to be honest with you, these trucks are not a perfect answer. Parts availability is becoming its own battle. Rubber rots, plastics get brittle. Finding high-quality OEM replacement components for a 1988 GMT 400 is harder every year. You will spend Saturdays hunting parts at swap meets and on forums. That's the trade-off, but it's still the better trade. Because the man with the simple truck doesn't need the appointment, he doesn't need the $80 diagnostic fee. He turns the key, the truck starts, he goes to work. And the market is already pricing that freedom in. Those golden era trucks, roughly 1973 to the late 1990s, are appreciating right now while the new ones depreciate the second they leave the lot. They locked the truck. Then they killed the mechanic. The one thing they can't take is what you can do with your own 2 hands. So next time you meet a good mechanic, shake his hand and tip him well. There aren't many of them left. And then go, learn to turn a wrench, because soon you won't have a choice. See you in the next one.